One. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Learn Something New today. I'm your host, Anthony Modesto Milian, and today we have someone really special. I've been following her for a little over a year now, and anytime she has something to say on Instagram, I listen because it's always funny. It's always going to leave me in stitches. We have Nemo, aka the Curl Plug, here today. How you doing?
Pew, 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 pew. I'm good.
That's the type of energy we want to bring to the podcast. This is episode
Period.
number 2. Thank you so much for being open and willing to be a part of this. So let's start it out.
Absolutely.
Tell me about like your journey as a comedian. You're funny as hell. Tell me
Thank
how it
you.
started.
So I've been funny my whole life because life is a joke. But I started doing online comedy, like just ranting and talking shit, and that started like picking up momentum. That was like about like 2014. And I just kept going. I always knew I wanted to do stand up. I just felt that at one point I really did feel that I wouldn't have been able to do like stand up. Um, you later realize you could do anything, and I did it. It got done. Now I do it, and I do it all the time, and I love it. I love it
That's what's
here. I
up.
do.
That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing's hard until you do it and realize how easy it is. That's like
exactly.
my life motto, especially like with the
Yes,
podcasting thing. Like I was thinking about like, oh, I gotta have all this expensive equipment, but I was like, you know what? I got a MacBook, I got a computer, and I got Zoom. So why not?
right, right. So simple.
So I love it. I love the attitude. I love the attitude behind it. What was your moment where you realized like shit, like I'm popping. I'm about to be a comedian. Like what moment did you realize this is what I want to do?
So back in 2020, I shout out to Mami Chula Social Club. Claudia, she's like the head honcho of that. Um so it's a social club, all women from all walks of life, doctors, teachers, therapists, politicians, all that. It's just a group of women from just coming together, these dope curated events. She actually had the opportunity of doing the vagina monologue with the ladies from the Mami Chula Social Club. I tried out, I auditioned, and I got picked for a role. And we had a 3 night sold out show uptown in Washington Heights. Amazing. That was my first time being one on stage, doing anything like scripted, play like anything in the entertainment field. And I did that, and that was kind of like the icebreaker. That was the you can do stand up because there were all 3 days there were different parts of my script that I forgot and I improvised and it worked. And I had people laughing and it was great. It was a big highlight and just kind of like the battery I needed. The kind of like kicking ass like yeah, go do what you were meant to do.
Right.
So
Right.
and it's been history ever since. I mean, we got hit with COVID, and then after COVID, we were just up and running. But that was the starting point. That was the eye opener,
That's what's
if you
up.
say.
That's what's
Yeah.
up. Now, who like when it comes to like influences, I know you mentioned your social club and things like that. Are there any influences for your comedy that you have met and like who influences you the most when it comes to like what you do, what you talk about, your process, things like that?
Well, as far as like comedic, like I mean, I'm inspired all day, every day. But like people that I grew up watching, like a Bernie Mac. I never met Bernie Mac. God rest his soul. He was like top. He's in my top three. A Dave Chappelle. Just Chris Rock, Martin Lawrence, like all these people that I grew up watching, but they were all men. And then the Lunel came, the Ada Rodriguez's came, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. The girls are too. Oh, I want to be one of the girls. I want to be one of the girls. And truly, life inspires me. We go through things every single day that is hilarious, you know? So it's just like, why not joke about it? And even the sad things, the bad things, the things that make us like look down on, you know, all of that is inspiring and all of it could be funny. So yeah.
So when it comes to like comedy and like your process, I mean, what do you find the most challenging when you're up there on stage or before that, when you're getting your routine together? What aspect of like comedy do you find the most challenging? Like, what are some challenges that you have to overcome?
Getting into my head, you know, sometimes you go on stage overthinking and you have the material right in front of you. Or even allowing like a distraction. Distractions are, you know, something that I am learning to overcome, like hearing another person mumble and it throwing me off, or you know, seeing a side conversation and it throwing me off, like things like that, mainly. And you know, besides being a female, you know, as a female, you a lot of people assume that women want to be sexualized. I'm not selling sex, you know, I'm fully clothed, I don't have OnlyFans, like I'm just funny, you
Mhm.
know. So it's just, it is what it is, but that's when you have to pop out and show people what's up, you know. Like
Right.
you gotta show them. Kendrick said it the best. So
I hear you there. So,
yeah.
recently, not recently, but like recent with Dave Chappelle and like a lot of other comedians, there's been a lot of backlash about the things they talk about and the way they talk about them. Specifically with Dave Chappelle, it's like the
Hmm.
trans issue. Do you find that there are any topics that are off limit in comedy for you personally? And if there are, why? Why do you find them off?
No. No. I mean, whatever I decide to talk about is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what I went through or what I lived through. You can't tell me not to talk about something I lived through or went through. You know,
Right,
it's a matter of how you're delivering the message, and how people take it is subjective. You know, comedy is subjective within itself. There's people that don't find dark humor funny, but
right,
it exists. You know,
right.
people making a joke about suicide, or people making a joke about the mentally ill, or the disabled. Like it is what it is. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like you know, um it's I don't feel like it's off limits. I feel like it's just a matter of how you deliver it. And
Right,
the way people take it is the way people take it. You can't control how what I say makes you feel.
100%.
The objective is to make you laugh, but if you didn't, then bendito you. Let's try with the next joke.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
That's true. So like when it comes to you mentioned when we were trying to set this up that you do work a full-time job.
I do.
So when it comes to like balancing your time between like working and writing and going to events and making sure that you're like able to still function, like how do you do that? Like what is your like normal like schedule look like where you're working and then you're writing and then working and writing and then how do you go about that?
Well, I mean, it's very scheduled. It's very, you know, it's something that I make sure to. I mean, I can't control the fact that I have a job.
Right.
That's just it. You know, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. I work weekends every once in a while. You know, I can't control it is what it is. But when I'm working, I'm working. And then once I log out, though, I log out. I don't take work with me. So it's just once I log out, now I know this is the amount of time that I have left for the day. Before I need to get, you know, beauty rest or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
I make the time for it. I make sure that at least for 20 minutes a day I write, whether it's a joke I'm working on or just what happened to me during the day. I have to write. And that's it. I make sure I make time for the mics that I go to. So whether I'm booked and I have a show that I'm booked for, or I'm just going to a mic and I'm working out on some new material or just regular material, polishing things up, then you know, you have to want it. So it's a nice little balance, you know. I just make sure that I utilize the time that I'm given.
Right, right. So, have you ever had a situation where the audience has heckled you? And, if so, like, how do you handle that? I know I see all the time where people are doing crowd work and
Hmm.
somebody heckles them, and then sometimes they fly off the handle. Sometimes they have something quick with the comeback and they shut the person up. Have you ever been in a situation like that? And how have you handled it?
Yeah, I just roasted you. I remember. Yeah, I just roast you. I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx. Like I grew up on you getting roasted. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? I've been Fatzilla, Godzilla. I've been all that. Like you understand? Like I've always been a big girl, and I had to deal with real life hecklers, people that were just mean. So what do you learn how to do? You learn to be mean too.
That's right.
Oh, this is
That's
what you wanted to say? Oh, you should get a new barber then. That's why you got a lopsided freaking hairline, huh? Getting no buns with that one, aren't you? That's why you're so frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Like you just you set them up,
right.
and then
True,
they
true, true.
learn. They learn. They
Yep.
get it eventually.
You got to
Once
learn
they
the
get
easy
their
way or the hard
nerves.
way. Sometimes the hard way hurts your feelings.
Right, and people don't like their little feelings to be hurt,
Right, right,
so
right, right,
they get with the program.
right. So when it comes to like your life, your personal life, what are some
Mm-hmm.
funny things that happen in your personal life, whether it's with family, whether it's with friends, that really inspire you as a person?
It's funny because I have a very unique life. I have a handicapped sister.
Mhm.
It's just me, my mom, and my sister. It's always been me, my mom, and my sister. And it's just funny due to the circumstance. Like you would think that I'd be a more serious, but it's like if you were to spend a day in my house, all we do is laugh. All we do is cut out. Like my mom is the big like she's the in a good way, the pettiest person that is out there.
Right.
And she's the kind of like I remember telling her one day, hey Ma, like what do you think, what do you think about me doing stand-up comedy? She was like, well, there's other people that are doing worse than you, so I mean, why not?
I'm gonna be
But
real.
it was like,
That is
it's like,
such
what?
that is such a Dominican, Puerto Rican response. Well,
Right.
you could do worse.
You could do
You
worse.
could do
Like I
worse,
remember
you
one
know?
time trying on a girdle. I was excited because I had lost a few pounds. I'm
Mhm.
always in between weights, fluctuating and shit, regular stuff.
Right, right,
And
right.
I try on this girdle and I got it to close the second freaking line. I'm excited. I'm like,
Right.
what? It closed. Oh, any ladies watching this podcast, y'all gonna understand when the faja closes, you accomplished something great. So I go to mommy. I'm like, mommy, la faja me queda bien. It fits. She's like,
Oh
of
no.
course, you got rid of your three bags. What did you think?
Wow.
Yeah. So, and she was dead ass. And I was like, damn, mom. But it's just like, everything is perspective. I could have gotten upset right there and then, mom, damn, three bags. No, listen, she acknowledged the fact that I was able to get rid of them, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
100% correct.
So, yeah,
100%
exactly.
correct. So,
Yeah.
listen, moms, oh my God, even my mom, I'm 37 and my mom still be coming out of pocket with me. But so when you're on your journey, what is some of the best advice that you have been given? Now that you're on this journey, you're popping, you're growing on social media.
hmm
I mean, like, what's the advice that you've been given? Like, what are people saying?
People say all types of things. One of the best advice that I've ever gotten was, a coward is a person that doesn't take risks. So take the risk and at least you'll know your outcome. Um, and something else that was given to me by another comic, Chris Grant. He's our mentor. He's my mentor for sure. Shout outs to him. Um, but he's always like told me like, listen, the funniest things in life is your life. So talk about it. The things that you least like about your life, talk about it. Whether it's your job, whether it's a peer, whether it's a friend, whether you're a hater and you just don't like nobody, just talk about the shit you don't like. And that tends to work. It tends to work. So it's just I've come across so many great people, so many like knowledgeable people that, it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that you tend to learn, and you're learning every day
Right.
for sure. Like I'm learning every day. So yeah.
Very good. So, what advice would you give? Let's say I'm a comedian. I want to be like Nemo the curl plug when I grow up. Would you tell me?
Be consistent. Be consistent, be consistent, be consistent. Go to mics, go to mics, go to mics. Because let me tell you something, practice makes perfect. and nothing's perfect because you could always be better. Go like just be consistent. If you really want this, be consistent because that's the only thing that's gonna take you to the top.
Any last bits of advice? This was quick, but
This was quick. This was like
yeah.
this was
Any,
very
I was
quick.
expecting it to be long because I made longer questions, but whatever. Any last bits of advice that you would want to give people out there?
Love yourself and love the people around you while you still have them. We're here spreading love and laughter in these dark times. And all we could do is laugh. You know, it's the best cure, it's the best medicine. Um, it doesn't rain forever. And just know that the rain eventually stops. The sun comes out. And if you are going through anything, um, tell somebody. Tell somebody. Because you'd be surprised who's willing to sit there and listen, or you don't know what piece of advice you may get out of it when you do speak up. And just laugh.
That's deep. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome anytime, anytime. Nemo, the curl plug, where do people find you? How can people find you?
Find me on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm mainly active on Instagram, but you can find me on TikTok as the curl plug, not the car plug, not the butt plug. THE curl plug.
Curl plug.
Follow me. Hit the link in the bio. I always have shows coming up. Um, I know this might air out after I have this show, but I'll be in Massachusetts on the 17th of this month. I'll be in Brooklyn on the 22nd. I'm actually in Brooklyn this Wednesday as well. I'm booked. I'm busy. If you want to come out, you want to do something different, come out. Because I'll tell you this much, you coming out to a comedy show is so much better than you popping a bottle at the club. You can still pop a bottle wherever I'm doing comedy, but I'll guarantee you'll have a better time there for
Awesome.
sure.
Well, Nemo, thank you so much again. I really appreciate you coming on. This is the fantastic. Let's give a round of applause to Nemo, the curl plug. Thank you so, so
Thank
much.
you so much, Anthony,